how Europeans of the USA EU condition our brains to be their slaves. We are born as a people in a system and order that represent the colonial interests of Europeans of the USA EU, meaning we are born in a colonial reality and not a reality that represents our interests as brown African people, meaning we are not born in an African order, which is the basis for our progress as a people. In this system, this order, the Europeans of the USA EU hold all the keys, and we are generally just tools to better their lives, as seen with the supreme and racist dominance over every sphere of our lives. Because they hold all the keys, it means what we learn as a people from schools, the TV, and generally newspapers are supplied by them. And remember, you can only behave based on the information you as human beings learn on a daily basis. And in this case, these Europeans of the USA EU are the ones supplying the majority of the information we as a people learn on a daily basis. It means the Europeans of the USA EU generally shape our opinions of ourselves, our opinions of the world, our opinions of them, our perception of the world, ourselves, them, and their enemies. That is why in brown Africa, many parents do not want their children to learn or speak their mother languages anymore, because Europeans' grip over our brains allowed them to demonize our languages as inferior, which is their agenda to erase our languages so that we become eternal slaves of theirs. Because our languages carry our culture, our knowledge system, and for as long as we have them, we will have a reference to rely on so that we can break free from the satanic ownership. Once our languages are dead completely, we will be totally lost and will be owned by them forever. The reality of Europeans' grip over our brains can be seen with how our languages, identities, culture has and is being phased out, while the European languages, identities, and culture has taken over the space of our languages, identities, and culture. On the economic side, they own all in our Africa, from natural resources to economies, land, because they have pacified our brains using the mental grip of our brains to make us bow to their racist colonial rule. The dominance of USA EU Europeans over us brown Africans is staggering and show that indeed these Europeans of the USA EU have no humanity whatsoever in their brains. The removal of Europeans of the USA EU languages, the banning of the media, the cleanup of Africa from the information they have supplied will help in breaking up the backbone of the monstrous rule in Africa. They have clogged the brains of brown Africans, and when I think about the mindset brown Africans generally have currently, a mindset they have shaped, I realize the pink people of the USA EU are monsters of a very rare kind. They are not a joke, and breaking free from their mental grip like I've done is a miracle of the African God our ancestors prayed before these devils show up here and imposed Jesus as our God. Issued by Protecting Africa on the 8th August 2014.